L'Entrepreneur Academy Live 2021 is going to be the biggest and best one yet. And we want to see you Saturday, November 13th in Novi, Michigan. Join hundreds of entrepreneurs just like yourself who are looking to crush it in their business and make 2022 the most profitable year ever. This year's speakers are a who's who of the industry. Greg Whitstock, Corey Ballard, Keith Kalfas, Mark Parker, Caleb and Brittany Almond, Haver Pete, Brian and Liz Fullerton, and Jeff Joyner. L'Entrepreneur Academy Live 2021 is a powerful and inspiring all-day conference designed to help you take your business to the next level. And it's brought to you by Xmark, RedMax, SureTrack Trailers, and Yard Book. If you make it to town Friday, November the 12th, you're invited to hang out, network, and have a blast at the Full Throttle Adrenaline Park, brought to you by Toro's Horizon 360. Come ride endless laps on the high-powered go-karts, play virtual reality games, and win great prizes. Excited about bringing your spouse to the event? Discounted spouse tickets are available. Excited about bringing your whole crew? Group discounts of 4 or more also available. Do whatever you have to do to make it to L'Entrepreneur Academy Live 2021 and grab your tickets before they're sold out. Tickets will go fast, so if you'd like to get more information, visit us at l'entrepreneuracademy.com or use the link in the show description and follow along with the hashtag LAL 2021.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It's your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging out with you guys. And today we are fired up. We have another great guest interview lined up for you guys. We have none other than Ethan Hammond with Hammond Landscape coming to you guys from Okemos, Michigan. Ethan, good afternoon, brother. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good, Brian. How about yourself?
Living the dream, man. It seems like every podcast we open it up, we're dealing with rain. And literally, as I look out my Bayview window, it is raining again. Are you guys getting some rain over there in Okemos, Michigan right now? Or what's the weather like over by you guys?
We've got a few sprinkles today, but other than that, nothing really. A lot of our lower properties, though, because we live right on the rivers where all of everything that we service. Yeah. And so a lot of our lower properties are big acres and stuff. You know, the big money houses, all the backyards are completely like a lake. It's crazy right now. But
yeah, we're definitely getting what do you call it? Like not high tide, but like the water levels, the water table is just like super high right now. And there's a lake like a mile from my house, and they've got it was funny. I was just talking to a guy about a month ago, and he's like, "Man, like the lake has never been this low ever." And I was just I drive by it pretty much every day, and the water table or the lake level is just through the roof, like all the way up to the shoreline. And I'm like, well, I don't know the last time it's been that high, but dealing with rain yet again. But I don't know if you guys are listening in, deal with rain, or you guys are dealing with heat. It seems like the country right now is in two extremes. You're either putting the pontoons on the lawnmower, or you are dealing with record heat, especially on the West Coast. But anyway, we won't talk about weather the whole time today, obviously. But Ethan, you're a big fan of the show, and you're a younger guy. You're 16 years old, man. So why don't you get these guys up to speed, man? What's your story, and what's your kind of life look like in a minute or two or less?
All right, cool. So I'm 16. I run out of Okemos, Michigan in my neighborhood, and basically we are a full maintenance company. We currently have right around 46 customers. Half of those is landscape maintenance. The other half is full service, so we do the lawn and stuff. So we're mowing around 27 houses right now, and then one new commercial that we just picked up recently I think we picked it up Thursday night.
Wow.
Last Thursday night. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow. Yeah, it's a huge step for the business. So I don't know if Chris is listening to this, but shout out to you, Chris, with over in Superior Brass and East Lansing.
There you go.
There by Ellis Brewery. So.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. There's a lot of great guys over in East Lansing and Lansing area, Foxscapes, and Lansing Lawn Care, a bunch of other great guys that I know listen to the show that don't even run businesses, but they just live out that way. So that's really cool, man. Actually, I know Okemos decently. I'm not, I don't know every side street, but my younger brother went to Michigan State for 4 or 5 years there. So I have had a lot of friends come and go through Michigan State. I've been through over there and through Lansing. It's a pretty nice area. It's pretty. It can get a little bit more rural, a little bit more wide open. Of course, it has its busy downtown areas with Michigan State. But are you guys more downtown city center? Are you guys more in the more rural with a couple acres, or what's your properties look like over there?
So in our neighborhood, it's very it's mainly half-acre lots, but the house sits on it. So it's like your average residential lots, and then there's also some houses that have 2 acres on them. That it's like the house is up on the hill, and then back behind it is just this huge floodplain.
Okay.
So it's just like it's really like you're never dealing with one property. Mainly, a lot of them are very very flat kind of, and just your average neighborhood lots. But then there's a handful that are just like acres, and it looks like Texas because it's so flat. Right. When you're mowing.
That's cool, man. Yeah, but, is Mason? Isn't Mason like south of Okemos or somewhere over there?
Yeah. Yep.
There's Mark. Mark Thomas Builder. He lives over there, and he lives off this like county road, and it seems like it's in the middle of nowhere, but it's only 10 minutes out of Okemos exit. But same thing. He's on like 3 to 5 acres, and all around him is 5-acre lots, and it's actually pretty cool out there. Like it's too far west for me to commute every day for my route, but the thing is, guys, if you're listening in, Metro Detroit is very condensed. There's a lot of subdivisions, and if you want any land or any property, and also under $1 million, you got to go west. And so if you go an hour west, you get to where Ethan is, and then an hour from there is Grand Rapids and all that fun stuff. And it kind of opens up, especially if you go more north.
Calling all landscape pros who want to get serious about healthy turf and a healthier bottom line. It's time to throw down new innovations. Built on 50 years of proven agronomic proficiency, Lesco fertilizers, control products, seed, and equipment are engineered to produce more resilient turf. We'll continue to bring new technologies, so no matter the day, you'll always bring your A game. Upgrade and outperform with Lesco. Visit siteone.com/Lesco today to learn more.
You've been in business now for a couple years, or what's your startup story look like?
So the startup story is back when I was 8 years old. For Christmas, I got a shovel that had Ethan Hammond lasered and printed in it, and it was my first real shovel. And I went around, and I charged $20. I only did like 2 driveways, just to get some money to buy, I don't know, like a Nerf gun or something.
Sure.
Well, around when I was 10 years old, I decided, I used to want to be a cop. So when the Dallas things happened with the Dallas shootings and stuff, if you remember that, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of was like, maybe this isn't the right path for me because I don't want to get shot. So,
sure. It's almost like a firefighter saying he doesn't want to deal with fire, so. Yeah. So, I kind of got involved with farming by riding in farmers' tractors and farm equipment, and stuff. And then I guess I kind of got the dirt in my blood from there. So I really wanted to be a farmer. And then, in 2018, the fall of 2018, I got a job at my buddy's pumpkin patch, and they own Barkham & Company Landscape over there in Hazlitt. And basically what they do is, in order to have the pumpkin patch and all the stuff, they are able to afford to farm, because farming is very expensive. Mm-hmm. And they're able to afford to farm by doing landscaping. So I went on a cruise that fall, and then I kind of thought it over. And my cousin, he owns commercial landscape up on the north side of Lansing. So I called him up. I said, Dan, do you have any mowers that I can start a business with? And he said, yeah. So my cousin Dan, he's a very nice guy, and shout out to you, Dan, if you're listening. But yeah, what he does is he buys Bobcat mowers,
and he'll run them for, I'm not even kidding you, Brian, 20 years. 20 years these things are running.
Wow.
And the frames probably have roughly 15 to 20,000 hours on them. And then they just keep on swapping the engines every single time it breaks.
Okay.
And so, and it's, some people like me and you, we like the new equipment because, no problems for the most part. But, he has a full-time mechanic and stuff, so he can really, do that. And it saves him, I don't know, probably $200,000 in 20 years. I mean, it's really
sure.
For him, it's cost effective, but for someone else, it's not.
Right.
But anyways, back to the story. I got a 60-inch Bobcat Textron 2 zero turn, a 48-inch Bobcat, I don't know what, 48-inch walk behind, and it wasn't a floating deck or anything. It was fixed. And then I got this track back, which I'm actually selling tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
But so I started with a $1,200 loan, no customers at all to pay for it. And that's kind of how I got started. And then what happened was the winter of 2018, 2019 was a very hard winter for us in Michigan. I don't know. I'm guessing because Lansing and Detroit are kind of, you guys get the lower end of storms, or the northern. They kind of pass through Chicago and stuff. But up here, like we have to have storms coming from Milwaukee across the lake.
Okay.
And so basically that winter, it was very brutal. Like very brutal, I mean very warm. December to, I'd say, about the first week of February. Then we had the polar vortex, and then that kind of took February, and we had a bunch of snow and stuff. So I was able to make payments then, but I it was getting nervous, and to see $200, and for a 13-year-old kid, a $1,200 loan is very, very expensive.
Right.
So,
who gave you the $1,200 loan, by the way, if you don't mind me asking? Like, was that family, or did Dan front that to you, or? So
Dan basically, I mean, I don't think it was really a loan. He basically said, all right, here's the mowers, and then pay me $100 a month for a year. And I said, okay.
Okay.
So
that's cool.
It was kind of like, yeah. So, anyways, basically I started out doing that. And then my dad used to do landscaping as a high schooler, back in the 90s and whatever. So I was using really old Red Max blower, a really old Red Max, string trimmer, and then, also a Shindawa edger, and none of this stuff worked right. But then I just kept on saving up, and I would reinvest. So fast forward to the fall of 2019, I had bought, and our dealership is Midwest Power over on Jolly Road in Okemos. They're great people. If anyone ever needs to go somewhere, Weingarts and Midwest Power, let me tell you what, talk to Derek at Midwest Power. He'll get you straight away.
Awesome. Well, shout out to Derek.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
And so anyways, I got, after busting my chops that entire year, I got a FS94 or string trimmer, a BR800C, an HS56. I think you have that, Brian.
Yep. Yep.
And a BG86, and then a MS180. And that fall was very hard on us because we had the two tractors at the time, the 170 and the 112. I'll get into the tractors later.
Yeah.
But basically, the 170 was pulling all the tools around. Oh, and we also had a billy goat at this time, 10 horsepower billy goat walk behind blower.
Yeah.
And then the 112 had the track pack. And so, we made it through, got that debt or loan kind of taken away. And then the winter of 2019 was extremely dry for us. We finished fall cleanups December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. And I was like, thank God, because I didn't want to be doing these until New Year's.
Right.
So I guess, I made a decent bit of money that year, and it was very nice. And I said, all right, well, I guess I'll try my luck again. And I went for a second year, and in February, I think it was like the 28th or something, I bought a brand new 2020 Toro Z Master 2000. It's a 52-inch deck. Probably my favorite mower, kind of, at this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a huge step for us. And then,
well, let me ask you this. You've had it going on for a couple years now. what was the motivation for you to start a lawn care company? I mean, I know you reached out to your friend or your cousin, Dan, this gentleman, and shout out to Dan to give you that investment and believe in you and sell you a couple used pieces of equipment or whatnot. But I mean, you just turned 16 actually today, which, by the way, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
So we're actually doing a quick episode, and then you're zipping off to go to dinner and hang out with friends. But so you've been doing this for a couple of years. I'm on your Instagram, Hammond Landscaping or Hammond Landscape. So if you guys want to follow Ethan here, give him a look. But what's been the motivation for you the last couple of years to do all this work? And I mean, dude, you're 13, 14, 15, 16 years old. Like not everybody your age is working as hard as you are.
Yeah. So, I guess the motivation is to start that farm eventually. I think the end goal for me for the landscaping business is, kind of do what my buddy did with his concrete business, which is, get it to the point where, I just kind of collect a check off it. It does its own thing, runs itself. And because in a day where I don't have anything going on, I'll help the guys do something.
Nice. How big's the farm that you want?
I would like 1,000 to 2,000 acres, and I would like to grow corn, soybeans, and wheat, and along with cattle.
Wow!
But that's a lot of money. That's like $20 million just on land, which will probably not go that big, but it'd be nice, right? It's nice to dream.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
of course. And Brian, if you're looking at my Instagram, I'm a huge John Deere fan. So all the stuff has to be John Deere, no matter what. Anyways, but so I think that
they make some really good equipment. We had a dealer here about 10 minutes down the road, 15 minutes down the road from me that closed up. Actually, they sold and then they closed up. They moved it. They consolidated some things for JD. But we used to see a lot of green around here, but not so much lately. And I know so many of you guys are fans of John Deere. I don't have any in with John Deere with getting demos or mowers or equipment that we could show you guys on the channel and help you guys make buying decisions, if you will. But if anybody's got the red bat phone to the Oval Office, we'll try to get some more JD on the big screen for you guys and on YouTube. But I like a lot of the John Deere equipment. It's actually really nice. You pay for the name.
Yeah.
You pay a little for the name. We all know that. But my uncle bought a John Deere Gator. I think it's a 925 XI, and it's a little UTV. It's a tank. I mean, it's got to be 15 years old and still runs like a champ. And so yeah, you like your lawn tractors out there. Why are the tractors over 0 turns, or do you still have the tractors, or where's the current equipment set up?
So the tractors are mainly the trucks until I can get my license.
Okay.
And that was the whole thing with the tractors. I do not mow with them. None of them have mower decks on them.
Okay.
They're mainly how fast can we get our stuff to the job and around without having to walk. And that's kind of how we went about. So
I was just going to say, not to interrupt you, guys. I just realized none of them have mower decks on. I'm looking at all the photos right now, and so they hold your equipment and your leaf bagger system. Where did you get this leaf vac system? Is that custom?
Oh, the track vac?
Yeah.
So the thing with the track vacs are they're basically a tow behind vacuum like you have on your lawnmower on the Z. But they hold a crap ton more. So what we did is I bought it for my cousin Dan, and it was part of that equipment deal, but the engine ended up blowing out a head gasket.
Oh,
so
no.
I was walking around the shop right as we finished spring cleanups in 2020, and I looked and I was like, oh crap, that's a big thing of oil on the ground. And sure enough, it blew a head gasket, and I was like, You know what? We have the 430 this year because I bought the 430, paid cash for that.
And that's a John Deere tractor, right?
Yep, John Deere 430. It's a 20 horsepower Yanmar diesel.
Wow.
It rolls cold. Yeah, it rolls cold. And then I have a snowplow for that, and then a 60-inch mower deck. Brian, when you come up to have some dinner with us, I'll definitely let you drive it.
Well, maybe we'll have to continue on the teenager playlist that we have growing on YouTube. I love seeing you younger guys out there just kicking butt, and you guys get all the views, man. So it's just it's so funny. I can do videos at my age, nobody cares, and then I'll do a video with you or Christian, and gets 100,000 views, and I'm just like, I just don't know. Do all of you young guys just spend your afternoons and evenings once you get out of school, like on YouTube and trying to learn how to hustle and make money, or what's your theory?
I think my theory is if you have the right drive, you will end up going on that. And a lot of teenagers nowadays are smoking pot and doing the whole vaping and drinking thing, especially for my school. And then there's me and my employees. I'm like, hey, if you guys do that and you guys don't show up to work, you're done.
Right.
So they all make sure, and they get paid good money. So they all come to work on time, and
good.
But yeah, well,
that's good.
Think of anything else.
Well, that's good. It's good that you guys have got a fresh young labor pool that you guys can all pull from and be buddies and make some money, of course, all summer together. As I'm looking through your Instagram, it seems like things are growing a lot for you the last couple year and a half. This new Silverado 2500. Are you 16 and plowing snow and making that dough? And it looks like you got another new piece of equipment. Is this your first truck, or what's that whole story?
So I had a checking or savings account that I was like, all right, well, because my grandma, what she does is every single time a leased vehicle gets turned in, she'll go to that vehicle and she'll take the pictures of all the damage and stuff for some sort of insurance. I don't really know.
Sure.
And so she was out at this dealership, and there was this plow truck sitting there, and then she happened, because she travels all over the place. She goes down by you, and she goes out on the west side of the state. It's crazy. But anyway, so she was at this dealership, and she saw it there, and she didn't really think anything of it. And then she for some reason had to go back to that dealership the day later.
Okay.
And then, so as she was pulling in, there was this truck there, and the salesman was taking pictures of it. So she walks up, and she's like, "Is this truck for sale?" And he goes, "Yep." And she's like, "All right, I got to drive it." So I basically told her, if you see anything good, buy it, pull it out of the savings account, whatever.
Wow.
So, yeah. So she test drove it. It's a 2007 Chevy 2500 Classic body with I think it's an 8-foot Meyer plow. So it's not, it's not a DXT or anything, but it gets the job done for now.
Well, you're also half the age, brother. So it's
yeah, that's true. That's true.
At 16, I was getting talked out of lawn care to go work at Little Caesars and make $6.74 an hour from my mom, because she didn't know better, and lawn care landscaping wasn't a thing to her, and that's fine. It is what it is, but You're 16, dude, and you have a plow truck, and it looks like a great truck, man. It might have a little rust here and there, but who cares, And that's a great first little white knight that you got out there to plow that snow, make that dough, and get your snow business growing. Have you plowed with it since you picked it up? Early February, or what do you got going on with it right now?
Yeah, so the first time I ever plowed with it was my grandpa's house, and he's very funny. He says that he's gonna snow blow it, and he's 75 years old. So he's out there just with this little, I don't know, it's like the older version of a Toro 518.
Okay.
So he's just out there just putzing around with this thing, and here I come whipping in, just V plowing it, drop it down, and just whiz right in there.
Yeah.
Kinda. I wish it was that cool, but it was more like a lot of swearing and am I gonna hit it?
And the first time you drop the plow on a plow truck, if you've never plowed snow, it's pretty nerve wracking because it's scraping, and it's something that you haven't really heard before or are used to, and so you're scraping, and it's like is this normal? And then you get to the end and you pick up the plow and you drive backwards 100 feet to make your next lane or your next pass. And you're like, dude, I'm doing it. Like I'm doing the thing, and as long as you don't hit something in the ground. Right. So,
right. Yeah. So, anyways, he just picked up a John Deere 400, which is the older version of the 430, and that's a gas engine. And that has a plow on it like mine. So he's going to be doing his own thing.
There you go.
He is, but it's more like I'm going to be showing up at 5 a.m. while he's walking out. Because what he does is he restores, like classic cars.
Okay.
And so, yeah, when he's just waking up in the morning, I'll be there, amber and green lights looking like a Christmas tree in his driveway. So
heck yeah, man. You got to take care of him, and you should, not you should, but you should get paid like $5 every time you say the word John Deere, you know what I mean? And that way you could go sell for them pretty easily because you're a big fan,
Yeah.
That's awesome. And they make good product, man. So shout out to them. But well, that's cool, dude. So right now, what's the day to day? We got about 5 minutes left here that then I got to get running myself. But what's the day to day look like right now? Are you guys doing more lawn care, more landscaping, and what are you doing? Are you still in school, obviously, or how's that working?
No, we're on summer vacation, but basically right now we're doing 4 days a week landscaping, 1 day a week mowing, and then so hopefully within the next couple weeks. We're going to be picking up more accounts because I could only stay in the neighborhood until I'm 16. My dad's rules, not mine. Otherwise,
Sure.
I would have been, halfway to sink, or I don't even know where.
I know.
But,
tell your dad he's stunting your growth. You know what I mean? Like, come on, Dad.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just having fun.
Yeah, but basically, I would like to get that up to 2 days a week for mowing, and that's actually kind of funny because that's how I got my commercial account. Is we were mowing, and then he flagged me down. He said, "Young man, I really like the job that you do. I have a commercial property right across this bridge." And then I said, "You know what? I'm going to be 16 next week. What the heck? I'll do it." So I went there and I said, "All right, it's going to be $80 to mow it." He said, "All right, well, because I love your entrepreneurship, I'm going to give you $100 a cut plus a $100 tip just for coming out and doing the estimate." I'm like,
wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Calling all landscape pros who want to get serious about healthy turf and a healthier bottom line. It's time to throw down new innovations. Built on 50 years of proven agronomic proficiency, Lesco fertilizers, control products, seed, and equipment are engineered to produce more resilient turf. We'll continue to bring new technologies, so no matter the day, you'll always bring your A game. Upgrade and outperform with Lesco. Visit siteone.com/Lesco today to learn more.
Well, one thing I had advice for anyone getting into the business or anyone who's younger is, even though you might say, "Oh, well, if Brian is charging $100 a yard for mulch, why wouldn't I shouldn't be charging $100 for mulch?" You should, and here's why. Because long story short, I lost about $2,000 on a job in 2020 for charging $50 a yard for mulch. I know you're probably cringing right now.
Yeah, that's tough.
Figure, Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess it took me more than once to learn the hard way. So now we're charging for mulch. I don't even know why I got into this topic, but it's $100 a yard plus delivery. And that's the plus delivery is kind of something that we just started doing because I was looking at our figures last week and I was like, holy crap, we are losing $600 in a month just for doing the delivery charge. And it's like, wow,
Yeah.
So,
Amen.
All these little pennies add up to dollars, right? So,
that's awesome, man. Well, you got it going on, dude. You're 16, literally like today, and you're going to dinner tonight with all your friends, man. And I'm excited for you. I mean, the next few years could be transformative. I mean, you got wheels now. I mean, you had wheels before, but now you got a truck to zip around town. And what are you trying to do? Real quick here, what the next 12, 18 months? Where do you see the company going while you're going through high school?
So how I see it going is within the next 18 months, we're going to be picking up a Toro Grainstand Multiforce 60-inch. My other cousin, Fred, shout out to you, Fred, he's going to be blessing us with 12 to 15 apartment complexes to do. He's a landlord. And then also a hurricane, probably like a Ferris, because I don't know. Long story short, the Billy Goat dealer got bought out.
Okay.
So yeah, so we'll be rocking a grandstand, a Ferris, and then this 52-inch zero turn I have now. I'm thinking about trading in within the next few months, or selling it, or not months, but within the next year. The reason for that is because I absolutely love Toro. They're the best company in the world, but this engine on this mower is the biggest piece of junk I've ever had to deal with.
Okay.
I'm telling you. So here, I'll go in there really quick.
Yeah.
Every single time you shut it off, it likes to do what I call it death start, where it tries to start back up again. And it's like, dude, I paid $8,000 for this mower. It should not be doing this after a year of owning it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think it's that Chinese engine that's on it. But anyway, so long story short, if anyone's thinking about buying a Z-Master 2000, don't get the Honda, or don't get the Toro engine. Go with the Cali.
Okay, fair enough. Did you have a chance to take it back to the dealer, see if there's anything going on with it, or?
No. When they do the hydros, it'd probably be within the next couple of weeks. I have a huge list for them to look at stuff on it.
Cool.
Because I don't like to be a big pain in my dealer's butt, but the parts guy, I love to mess with price. So I'm just gonna chew him out about this stuff. I'm joking.
That's awesome, man. Well, yeah. I mean, I always tell people, like, if equipment's not working, or something's not working right, take it back to the dealer. And there's times where you buy a car and you realize, hey, something's not on or bolted on or working or all that fun stuff. Like it happens, and especially. I just was talking to somebody the other day, like how fast they're churning out equipment. It was actually about like razors and Polaris razors. And somebody's like, yeah, like I forget what they were talking about, but something wasn't even like connected. And they were all in a huff and a puff. And I'm like, dude, they're just whipping these things out the door, as fast as they can. So, give them a little slack. I mean, of course we want the product we buy to be working as intended, but at the same point, don't get in a huff and a puff, like you said. Just go back up there, drop it off, or spend an hour up there and let them kind of calibrate whatever that thing is, and just try to get it worked on. But yeah, it happens. It happens to every brand, man. It happens to all of us. Exmark or Skag or all these different brands out there. They all those little mowers have those nuances to them, and that's what gives them all the character, So
right. It's always something new every day. So
at least it seems to be, at least the Facebook groups that I am a part of, that I do get sucked into. It's people like to complain on Facebook. I'll tell you that, and other business owners, man. It's just like people complain about anything. I saw a photo the other day of a guy that bent the blade square 90 degrees down. And said these.
I saw that. Yeah.
Did you see that one? And he's like, these blades suck. And I mean, he got roasted. In the comments, people are like, well, of course they suck when you hit a well or whatever the guy hit. He clearly hit something. He's like, these blades just don't hold up. And it's like, dude, you clearly hit some piece of rebar that turned not 90 like bent, but like down. Like that's impressive. That takes talent. But anyway, which way? So, hey, dude, we got a hard cutoff. We got to wrap it up right here. This is Ethan Hammond. And then where can they find you if they want to keep up with you on Instagram and get to keep up with all the activities that you got going on over the next couple of years, man?
So all the action can be found on at Hammond Landscape on Instagram or Hammond Landscape on Facebook. You probably would want to stick to the Instagram because that's where we do all our stories and stuff. So then all my grandparents don't, say, Ethan, why'd you swear? Why are you doing this that way and stuff? Anyway. Well,
your parents will follow you up. My mom watches all of my content, and some of you guys out there give me feedback and critiques, and I appreciate it. But trust me, I still get the biggest critiques from my mom. Literally, I'm like, Mom, I'm 35. I'm paying my own bills. I have a mortgage on land. All this stuff, and she's like, I know, but you shouldn't say the word suck. Like you should say it stinks. And I'm like, thanks, Mom.
Right.
Thanks, Mom. Appreciate that. So all that kind of stuff. She's like, there's other people that watch your content. So I've heard, Mom. I appreciate that. But anyway, God bless Mom. Amen. So, all right, bud.
Right.
Well, I got to get running. This is good. If you guys want to keep up with Ethan, like he said, Hammond Landscape, maybe share the podcast episode if you guys get a second and tag him and shoot him a DM. And by the way, if you guys are younger, 14, 15, 16 years old, give him a shout.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, bud. Well, hey, have a good rest of your birthday, man. Excited for you. Happy 16th birthday, and keep the hammer down. We'll get some updates from you and for you for sure. And I'm sure one way, shape, or form, I'll be over in Lansing, Okemos area, and get to catch up with you, man. So we'll look forward to seeing you here soon. All right, bud?
See you guys later.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, hey, we'll button up right here, man. This was another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. We got Ethan Hammond joining us with Hammond Landscape. Make sure you guys give him a quick follow on Instagram, and you guys can tell we're just having some fun, keeping it late today. So, all right, guys. Well, let's kick it back to Marty, Mr. Producer, to wrap up the show, and we will look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.
Do you want to keep the cash flowing this winter? Head over to L'EntrepreneurAcademy.com and check out all of Brian Fullerton's new courses and powerful resources to get you cashing in on that white gold through plowing snow. The snow plowing training course is easy to understand, and you'll learn what it takes to do the job effectively and how to bid, price, and estimate snow plowing for both residential and commercial properties. L'EntrepreneurAcademy.com has 3 new resources to take the hassle and guesswork out of securing your snow removal jobs. Plus, there's eye-catching marketing materials that can help you secure new clients quickly. Ready to crush the snow game this year? Visit L'EntrepreneurAcademy.com or use the link in the podcast description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.